Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and today we're going to have our trunk coffee, just for starters, and we're just working on some barrel trains right now. I've got a couple sets back there ready to go, and I want to go over, some people are having a hard time with getting them installed correctly. So what I've done is put mine back the way it was when I got it out of the box. And we're going to show how to put the barrel train on. So now, before I even start with them, on the bottom of them, let me see if I can find one I haven't done yet. Well, I guess I've been busy because I did them all. Alright, well anyway, I'll just show you on my set. Alright, on the bottom here, because of the way this has to set on the printer, it sets like that on the printer bed. And that's how it prints, just like that. So, because of the way that it has to print, it has to print this round part that's on the bottom. So once it gets up so far, it can do an angle and do it pretty decent, but once it gets to the point where it's almost 90-degree overhang, which is probably about a quarter inch, that droops. It prints it okay, but then once it catches up, it's fine. But it droops as it's going. So it leaves a ridge in the middle of this. Well, I don't file that off most times because I'd rather the customer do it so that the thing fits for their gun. And you may still need to sand on it because I've already done some on the bottom of this. So you just take and just run the sandpaper down through here, and basically all you got to do is just find something round, just like that file right there, put that in there and just run it through a couple times until it gets smooth, and that's it. But you want these to fit loosely. Now this one here is the very first one I built. So well, actually this is the second one I built, and I changed a few things on it so that I can make them universal, because the first one I did the front one like that, and because I was going up against a barrel band instead of one of these, you know, so I had to stop the hole into the barrel band. Alright, so the new ones though, they have this style barrel band that completes that circle like that. It won't do it on mine, it just makes another half circle. So anyway, the ones that you guys will be getting will be the ones that all look like this, because this way, let's say somebody had a longer one and they wanted to add another car or something, who knows. I just wanted the option open to be able to do that and stack them together. Well, anyway, I ended up having to design a new piece. This one is for the bullpup, and because it's a shorter one, you can only fit one car, this, and this. So if you have a bullpup, we're gonna start making these so that we can offer this as a bullpup package or a Challenger package. We're going to try. So I just got to get my stuff together. These things can be a pain to print, so you can't make no promises using them printers as your backup, because it ain't gonna help you out. It's gonna leave you hanging. But anyway, I wanted to show now the process that I did on mine. I sanded all these. I sanded the sides of them, and then I took steel wool to them, both sides, so that they'd be smooth. You know, these are made for you to modify to your specific wants. You know, you want a rough texture, by all means leave it rough textured, because 3D printers, there's no way you're going to get away from that layer heights where you can see all the layers. So you're going to have to sand it. And I leave that up to the customer to do what they want with theirs. One of these I'm gonna plan to primer with gray primer and try my dip again, because that didn't work out all that great. I got that one, if somebody wants to buy it, discounted price. It's brown camouflage. Anyway, so the first thing you do is go ahead and take your trowel off. And if you don't have the one with the shrouds on it, then you skip this step. You want to try to come out as straight as possible, and it's got pretty close tolerances there on that air stripper. So that's actually a plus, because that means it's nice and snug in there. Alright, and then you take your air stripper off. And put it in a safe place with all your Challenger parts. If you've got the shroud, keep this with the shroud. And put it up, because you don't want to lose any of these parts in case you want to put it back the way it was. You never know, you might want to sell it and get you another one and redo another one. Alright, so the first thing you got is the caboose. It slides on, no set screws in it, and basically all this is a starter piece and a cover to cover the threads for where the shroud screwed on. So now nothing's going to hit those threads. Alright, then you want to grab the one that says train. Train is the last one. That means that your fins are forward. If you've got the words on the other side, they'll be backwards. Now that's not a big deal if that's your preference. If you want it to read Bison barrel train on the right side, you can reverse it, but that's going to mean your fins are going to be going backwards. Well, to be politically correct, you want your fins to be pointing forward at the top, indicating direction of travel of the dangerous object coming out of it. At least that's what's in my mind. So you want these set screws not going past this bottom here. Now mine's already set, but we're going to reset it. So the first thing you do is slide the train on. If you're doing it from the opposite side, you just do it in reverse. Just pay attention to your fins. I like mine pointing forward at the top. I think it makes it look more rugged and directional. Well, I've got the wrong one to start with. See, I already have mine set. I guess I'm going to have to loosen them out. There it is. Alright. So then we got the first one on. Then we got the second one on. And they might change in the direction. Just depends on which side you filed on the most. So that one ain't going to work like that. See, I had it backwards. So this one says, we'll say barrel train. Alright. And then this one, of course I printed a new one out for this one that said Bison on it. And all the rest of them say Bison too. and then we put that one on. Then you take your barrel band, which mine is a flat one, yours is going to be like that, and you want the circle to complete the train, because when you get yours is going to look like this. And then you'll have this band going on it. So you have to do a little sanding inside here, because there is a difference between machining on these things, and they're very slight. And I make these that way so that you guys can tune them to your barrel. If you're not willing to do tuning on your barrel, then you're in the wrong profession. But anyway, so then you put your barrel band on, and I've got mine fit to where it's a snug fit. Well, I had my set screw out there a while ago. I must have put it down into it. Yeah. And it does matter on mine. That doesn't mean it's going to matter on yours, but it matters on mine which way it's facing, whether it fits that way. And that basically means that you might have it backwards because of the sanding process when you was tuning it. So that's why I say tuning, because you're making it fit nice. Now mine is a little tight, but I'm fine with that. Alright, so now the first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and make sure that your barrel is true and it didn't move it. And this will change your point of impact. The first shot, you're going to be off, because we're moving the barrel, and I'm going to have to recite this one in now because I took that off, because I have changed the tune, because I don't remember which one of these went where, because mine doesn't say hold on, I've got the wrong frickin' band on there. Let's put the right one on there. I was wondering why that fits so tight. Yeah, there we go. I didn't think that felt right. But mine says Bison on it, but the other two don't, because these are the original ones that I printed out, the very first ones. So I usually use the first ones for myself, because they're the ones that had the most heart in it. Alright, so remember I told you to loosen all these before you put them in there. Alright, you back them up, all of them. Back them out. All 12 of them. Alright, and we're going to tune this barrel to your particular train. Alright, I'm going to tell you, this makes a big difference in the way this gun shoots. It was like night and day. So if I can hit the holes on most of them, you know what they say, right? Alright, so now that we've got them loosened up, the first one that we want to mess with is the middle one. You go to the middle one, and you just turn that real lightly until you feel it touch. That's it. Nothing more. And you might have to tune this a couple times, you know, until it settles in, because, you know, you're working with new plastic, and that's just barely touching. And then I'm going to come over to the other side and do the same thing. And sometimes you don't know your own strength. So just want to get it to where it's just barely touching. Now we know that the center one is square to the barrel. Then I'll go to the back one, and we'll go in on this one until it touches. And then we're going to go crisscross and tune that one. Just barely touch. And you just do every one of them the same way. Now that one's level. What you've done is took away any gaps and changed it to where this and the tank are parallel with each other. And then we'll just come to the front one and do the same thing. You don't want to put no torque on it. I like to go in until they start getting torque on them, and then I know it's bottomed out, and then I just loosen it up and then just find that sweet spot where it's just barely touching. So that helps you out any. So now mine's level all the way across there. So now the tank and the barrel is as one, and you still have some give because you're using plastic or nylon screws. It acts as a cushion. So then if you're putting this on the bullpup, I've made it this extra one. This one is because you can't get but 2 of them on that bullpup. Oh, I ain't into them bullpups. Alright, so now we go ahead and put our Widowmaker, Bison 357 Widowmaker, and I haven't completed sanding on mine yet. I still got a lot of sanding to do on it. Now you can sand this and leave the black in there, and if you had a way to mask that off inside there and around the outer edge, you could probably camouflage that bad boy with a camouflage dip, or just spray it a different color, or whatever your theme is. I mean, there's so many options to this, and it's only 6 point some ounces. You ain't got that big old suppressor hanging off the end of it. It would help if I had it turned the right way, wouldn't it? And you got to be careful threading plastic on the metal, because you can't strip it. And I think I'm working on it. Come on, snap on me. What's going on here? I didn't like the way that went on. Alright, so now we got our Widowmaker on it, and that's how you install the Bison barrel train. And the main reason that I tell people to do Bison barrel train is so that it reads it, and it helps me out. People sees that, and I appreciate it, and it's a good thing. And it's a nice system. It really is. So I wouldn't just bullshit you. Now I gotta re-sight it in. But she is looking pretty. That's a nice look. You could do anything you wanted. You could paint this. You could paint it all. When you first get it, you could just take and spray it. Before you even start sanding it, just spray it. And get it down in all them little valleys inside the fins and the circles and everything, and down in the valleys on the low spots. Then once it dries, just use fast dry paint you get at the dollar store for $1 a can. Then when you sand it, your color, like if I was to do green, all the green would show up inside of there nice and bright like this here does. That would look cool. You know, you could do it if you did a blue theme or a red theme or whatever. Or you can dip it, do camouflage dip. But anyway, I wanted to show that video, so let me get off of here, and don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You guys have a good one. Later.